Okay, let's do this thing. Monday Night Raw, folks. Monday Night Raw. Week 2, I should say at this point. Was it different? Yeah, there were changes here and there. We all could see that tonight, especially with some people that really did need to change here. And I got a lot of things to say about this show, okay? Especially after what happened on SmackDown since Friday. There's more to say on this. Cleveland, Ohio, they were tonight as they kicked it off with Bayley and her crew, Io Shirai and Dakota Kai out there to cut a promo. Basically, they came out there that the women's division needs them. And talk about the fans. You know, you've been enjoying Becky Lynch play dress up. And, enjoy Bianca Belair, calling them idiots. As they got what chance all the time. Well, not what chance to them, but Bayley was getting what chance as she was cutting her promo. And basically she talked about how, Io Shirai is very lethal. And Dakota Sky, that was kind of funny, but she ended up correcting it. So, yeah, I know I said Dakota Sky. I meant Dakota Kai, idiots, and whatnot. And they're trying to tell everybody to shut up and stuff. Not a bad promo from Bayley, but, it's a good thing. There's a reason why they got Bayley talking for, everyone out there. Even though Io Shirai and Dakota Kai said something, it wasn't really much they said, but Bayley was the one leading this whole thing on the microphone. Next thing you know, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, and Bianca Belair came out and basically talked about the tournament that's going on, because tonight is the women's tag team tournament. I guess now they need new women's tag team champions, which, a lot of these teams are obviously made up. I'm surprised they even had Nikita Lyons and Zoe Stark from NXT part of this whole tournament. I guess they need some extra women, even though they already got, they already got NXT, they already got the women's tag title on NXT, their own versions, but this is a random team of Nikita Lyons and Zoe Stark. I know Triple H was very behind, Zoe Stark, especially around with the black and gold of NXT and whatnot, so I don't really think much of this of them being on the main roster for a team, but hey, we'll see what happens. But right after that, Bianca and them challenged Bayley at the Clash at the Castle event coming up for a 6-women tag team match. And then, Bayley, Bianca went to talk about, you're out here talking about control, but it looks like you're losing it and whatnot. Next thing you know, everybody started brawling with each other as security and them broke it up. So, not a bad segment to kick off the show. Next, Seth Rollins went against Angelo Dawkins. Very good match right here. Good to see Dawkins getting some go out here. A lot of you said Dawkins is gotten in better shape nowadays. Not even wearing a singlet out there, and whatnot. Just kind of get he's getting more muscle and everything. So he looked good out there. He had some time with Seth. That was good. Now, could this still lead to the Street Profits breakup? Possibly. Not sure. But see, I had to check a message right there. Yeah. Seth Rollins beating Angelo Dawkins. Like I said, I enjoyed this match. Seth Rollins ended up winning with a pedigree this time. So now he went just a curb stomp, the pedigree. He was going to not pedigree, but curb stomp Dawkins after the match. But Montez Ford ended up coming out for the save. So I enjoyed Seth and Ford out there. Not bad. Edge spoke to the Mysterios in the back. Man, I got a phone call during these reviews. It's always a phone call. Hold that thought. Had to take that phone call right there, but yeah, like I said, one thing I did forget to mention in the first segment, other than the 100 camera shots by Kevin Dunn out there during that women's segment, let me just make sure I say that. Like I said, what I was just talking about was Edge talking to the Mysterios. Edge tried to, apologize to Dominic after what happened last week, and whatnot, so they were cool. Dominic said, yeah, we're cool, and then, pushing Edge. And Ray said, hold on, man, I've known Edge for over 20 years. He's like family. But Dominic went on and said, I know you for 25 years, okay? And you're going to take his side over mine. So Dominic kind of showing some backbone this week, other than just getting beat up out there most of the entire time. Because I've already seen a lot of people turn on Dominic nowadays as it is anyway. So there you go. There you go about that. So we'll see what that happens. Kevin Patrick was interviewing The Miz, Tommaso Ciampa. Tommaso Ciampa basically talked about Harley Race was, the first U.S. champion and a man who believed in him back then. He had trained under Harley Race. And he talked about how Harley Race died 3 years ago to this day, and talked about the road that Harley Race wore, and acknowledged him as the king and whatnot. So, him showing respect to Harley Race, even, having the road too, that was pretty cool out there. So, definitely, I did like that little segment out there, still honoring the history of, the U.S. champion, the first ever U.S. champion, I believe, was Harley Race. So, that was cool to see. Kevin Owens killed Ezekiel out there, which now, I think Owens is going to be going back to NXT. Owens, or at least from a few years ago, Owens is the prize fighter as he beat up Ezekiel, because we saw him later in the night as, the stretcher ended up getting rid of Ezekiel, rolling him out of there, which I don't think this Ezekiel idea is really going to run any longer. It looks like they may be getting rid of it and, writing him off TV like that. So, we probably will get Elias back. But, even Owens later on saying, a lot of people are watching, this is still the Kevin Owens show. Honestly, I'm glad they're changing up Kevin Owens, because I've had enough of him versus Ezekiel of, if he's Elias, he's Ezekiel, because I didn't really think he needed to be in this feud even after WrestleMania. I think still that they should have rolled the wave off of, WrestleMania when he went against Stone Cold Steve Austin, and just kind of, piggyback on that and go somewhere bigger with Kevin Owens. But they wanted to go with this Ezekiel idea, which, I didn't think it made a lot of sense at the time. But if this is going to get Kevin Owens, some would say the NXT Kevin Owens back, or the prize fighter and stuff, then this looks like the direction they're going with right now. So, I'm cool with that. What else? Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest came out there talking about Mysterio's in danger, and that, they're going to get him tonight. Priest went on to talk about he's going to take out Edge in 2 weeks in Toronto. Rey Mysterio did end up going against Finn Balor for God knows how many times at this point. I'm not sure. Good match or whatnot. Not bad at all, but it ended up with distraction by Rhea Ripley, because Edge did come out and brawl with Damian Priest at the back, but Ripley ended up carrying Dominic's lifeless body out of the lifeless body out to the ring and stuff, or just to the stage, and just left him there and just beat up and everything. Okay, now could this be like a a ruse or something, with Dominic just playing to get beat up by Ripley so he ends up joining Judgment Day? I don't know, but, it is kind of funny in a way. I think that's why a lot of people have seen like Dominic also, because, don't get me wrong, Rhea Ripley looks big as shit, and looks way bigger than usual, and my friend Steven said this, that looks bigger than half the fucking roster, okay? But should Dominic really be getting his ass kicked by a fucking woman damn near every week when you think about it? But, like I said, Ripley is big as shit, so she looks like she could kill anybody out there, and even people said Dominic already looks like he's 12 years old out there, or then again, a lot of people say Dominic should just went through NXT first to begin with, but they didn't do that. So I think there's a lot of reasons why people turn on Dominic nowadays, okay? But yeah, Ripley beating the shit out of him and leaving him there, and Ray just getting distracted, and Balor just hitting the coup de grace for the win. We'll see what goes on with that. Dana Brooke and Tamina were there, and, I don't really think this whole 24/7 belt is going to last long either. She talked about being a double champion and stuff, until Bayley says, no one doesn't want your belt and everything. We're not going to roll you up for it. But, be ready for your tag match later on, because it was Dakota Kai and Io Shirai versus Dana Brooke and Tamina in this women's tournament. I'm surprised this match went on that long. Some would say they just don't want to make, rebuild the division maybe, so they don't want to make everybody look like a damn scrub out there. Honestly, this match should have been at least like 2-3 minutes, make Bayley's faction look dominant, and it's Tamina and Dana Brooke. Who gives a shit about them, okay? Like, literally, who cares? So they could have just went like 2-3 minutes, move on, make Bayley, like I said, make Bayley's crew look dominant, move on to the next match. But they wanted to go 10 minutes, and the crowd stopped caring after a while too, so I didn't think it needed to go on that long. Next, the U.S. title was on the line, though. Tommaso Ciampa and Bobby Lashley. Tommaso Ciampa coming out there in the Harley Race gear, which was pretty cool to see. I kind of wondered how this match was gonna go, because I was like, Lashley cannot lose here, and I gotta say, Lashley's just more over than usual. Okay, him doing that arm pump thing with the crowd just kind of proves more he's that over and stuff, and I like seeing that. I kind of wondered how this was gonna go. And whatnot, because I'm like, well, Lashley can't lose, but I get it's Ciampa, but still, Lashley can't lose clean at the same time. But one thing also, put in this match, because I said, I'm saying Lashley can't lose clean here in a way, because they got Miz out there, and it looked good. Like I said, this wasn't a bad match. I know a lot of people saw that Ciampa did that Gargano escape, submission hold out there, if you noticed that. But I'm like, Lashley, I was like, Lashley's not going to lose out here. I just don't see it. And a lot of people thought Ciampa was probably going to win anyways, because once again, hey, Triple H, black and gold booking is one of Triple H's guys. When you think about it, it's in reverse. How Vince like to push his guys. Triple H is doing the same thing, but in reverse of pushing his own guys now. So, like I said, the black and gold, or people just coming back or rehiring, and we'll get to more of that later on. I'm not surprised that they're being booked this higher of this level now, but I'm like, I don't think Lashley was going to lose right here. Lashley's too big up in the momentum right now. And, Miz did get involved, and AJ Styles came out and, had stopped Miz and brought him to the back. Lashley did end up getting the win, though. He hit the Hurt Lock on Ciampa. Ciampa tapped out. And like I said, Lashley still retained the title, so Lashley still over as hell. Omos went against two job guys. I really don't know where Omos is going to go right now. Like I said, I wonder how well they'll book him under Triple H's control, because, Vince looked like he had something going for him at the time, but I don't know where it's going to lead to with Omos. Seth Rollins was cutting a promo. I guess they're going to talk to Riddle next week in an interview and whatnot. So, he tried to make fun like, okay, dude, because I'm going to Cody Rhodes' ass right out of here. So, he said that about him. Dolph Ziggler went against Chad Gable. Ziggler, he is from Cleveland, but I don't think people really cared much from this match. It wasn't a bad match or anything. It was actually pretty good for the little time they had. I actually liked it. But, Ziggler won, but how many people really did care at the same time? There you go. I went to, Doudrop and Nikki Ash talked about, they're going to win the titles next week, as they went to Alexa Bliss and Asuka. Bayley and them started mocking them until some cops ran by. Remember, there was a car crash earlier right behind Kevin Owens, and no one didn't notice that, which is going to lead in the main event in a second, because AJ Styles did go against The Miz in a no DQ match. It wasn't a bad match or anything. I was kind of more surprised that, maybe I shouldn't be, but Miz throws a chair at AJ Styles as he's about to do the phenomenal forearm. Skull Crusher finale him on the chair, and then he still kicks out. I'm kind of like my friend Steven, like, yeah, we just made his finish like bullshit when you think about it. I'm like, yeah, they got a point. AJ ended up getting the win with the Styles Clash for the win. So AJ won and beat Miz. I've seen this match one too many times, whether it be DQ and that. In a way, AJ won, so it's whatever. But I've kind of seen this match one too many times. Did I really see much difference in it? Wasn't a bad match or anything. I think I've just probably seen it too many times. But one thing to point out also, AJ looking at the crowd, and you see the cops was carrying away somebody. If you look close enough, I believe that was Dexter Lumis, folks. So Dexter Lumis was hired back. Like I said before, a lot of these black and gold guys are going to come back in general, or rehired back, because they were all Triple H's boys, and Triple H feels that they got screwed over. We saw that with Killer Cross last Friday on SmackDown. We've seen it already with, Dakota Kai, and I'm sure many, many, many more will return. Welcome back to NXT 1.0, folks, because in a way, I see that coming. I could be wrong, possibly, but, hey, we'll see where it leads to, because now Dexter Lumis is back. Expect Johnny Gargano to come back here. So people thought he was going to go to AEW, but I don't think that's happening anymore. The minute you got word Triple H and them have now taken over creative, they just see the people start running back. So I've said this before, expect people to jump ship or run back to the WWE now. So you're seeing more and more of that every day. Overall, I thought Raw, it wasn't that bad. Like I said, it got better after the second hour. Yeah, after the second hour, in a way, it started to kind of fall off after the whole U.S. title match. But it was a good show. Like I said, there are changes. Some changes I do see, some changes I don't, but there are changes. I don't think the whole show has changed that much in a way, but you can obviously see the obvious changes. Maybe it's from a production standpoint, possibly. You still see 100 camera cuts a minute by Kevin Dunn, but there are changes here. I'm not going to say that it's not like it was last week. Last week, I just thought Raw was literally the same thing, but just with longer matches. That's all it really was to me last week. This week, I saw a little more different changes, and especially when it comes to people's pushes now, we'll see where this is going to go, okay? But, like I said, in the end of this whole thing, Dexter Lumis getting pulled out by the cops, that gives you a clue about Gargano. Could he have came back tonight, given this was Cleveland, Ohio, in his hometown? Possibly, but I don't think they want to pull the trigger yet. They're going to wait on that. So other than that, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, @HoodNight890. I'll see you guys then. Peace out.